Taiwan's Gay Pride is a highly anticipated event that people all over the world and all across Asia come to Taiwan for. Honestly, I did not know just how big it was until I actually came to Taiwan and experienced it for myself. And I was very decently surprised. Like, I met people from like all over the world, from the US, from Malaysia, from Indonesia. Like, there's just so many people. There were so many foreigners and it was truly just so wonderful to behold. But since it was my first time ever visiting Taiwan and my first time attending Pride Week, I definitely made a lot of mistakes with my planning. And hopefully by making this video, I can inform you guys of the things that I would have done differently so that you can have the best gay pride in Taiwan as possible. So in this video, I will tell you guys everything that I've learned during my 1 week stay in Taiwan during the Pride Week, including where to stay, which gay bars to go to, and also some examples / a breakdown of some of the events that are happening throughout Gay Pride Week. I'll be talking about the gay saunas, my experience with them, and whether or not I'd recommend them, the details of the actual Pride Parade itself, and the general atmosphere of Taiwan and of the places that I visited. We got a big one today, so let's just get started. And let's start with where to stay. So this was my first mistake. For Pride, I thought it would be a good idea to book a place next to Taipei City Hall because that was where the Pride Parade was going to be held at. It was only after landing in Taiwan that I realized that literally everything that is gay, or well, like almost everything that was gay, is located in the Ximending area, which is far as hell. So my first and probably most important recommendation is to stay in Midtown Richardson. But why stay in this hotel in particular? So the reason why I'd recommend you to stay in this place is well, the best way to describe it is this place is like the Luxor Hotel of Taiwan. And if you don't know what I mean by that, basically what I'm trying to say is, so if you're a Gaysian raver and you've been to EDC Las Vegas, you would know that the Luxor Hotel is like notoriously gay. Like during EDC, if you open up your Grindr app at Luxor Hotel, the entire grid, 0 meters away, filled to the brim with gays. Like if you're walking around the Luxor Hotel and you see a guy wearing a tank top, there is like a 99% chance that he is gay. And Midtown Richardson is basically the same way. That hotel was crawling with gays. I had a fun time opening up Grindr in that place. And even if the gays weren't in that hotel specifically, they're like in the general vicinity. And that's what I mean by Midtown Richardson was like the Luxor Hotel of Taiwan. I don't mean that in terms of like quality. I just mean that in terms purely of how densely populated the gays were in there. So yeah, if you're choosing a place to stay, I definitely recommend staying at Midtown Richardson so that you can be close to the gays if that's what you want, or just generally in that area because again, that's where the gay stuff is gonna happen. Also, Midtown Richardson is literally right next to Ximen Station where you can easily get a transit card. Taiwan has a really great public transit system. It kind of reminds me of Vancouver. Like you can pretty much go anywhere you want in the city in like an hour or less. And with that card, you can take the bus and you can take the train. It's really convenient, better than Ubering everywhere. So next, let's talk about the gay bars and also some of the events that are happening throughout the Pride Week. So let's start with the Red Theater House, which is an iconic area because the Red Theater House serves as a landmark and is basically the center of Taiwan's gay district. So around the theater itself, there are a plethora of gay bars and gay shops that you can, peruse in. And at the gay shops, you can buy like, all kinds of gay things like, underwear, tank tops, socks, leather things, juicy things. As for the gay bars, most if not all of the seating is like outside. And during Pride, this place was packed. And the place that I chose to sit and drink at was a place called Dalida. And I only had a beer there. I was just there to chill with some friends and the vibe was just really nice. Like I got the sense that like while sitting there, I could just easily turn to the neighboring table and then just introduce myself and it would be just pretty chill. Like it has a very like bustling energy, But unfortunately because it was so packed, like to the brim packed, it was also quite hot and Taiwan is already kind of like a humid place. So, if you're not good with the heat, this area might not be the best, but like, it's a good place to start because it's pretty much the center. So the next gay bar that I went to, I actually walked there from the Red Theater House. It's called Commander D. So during the day that I went, cover was either 800 or 1,000 new Taiwan dollars. Can't really remember, but I do remember it came with a drink coupon. Now keep in mind that for all the bars I'm going to talk about, I went during Pride Week, so it meant that pretty much every single bar was packed. And it also means that cover is probably going to be a lot more expensive during this time. So, just be aware of that. So I came in at around 10 p.m. and again, I got a drink coupon and I got myself a drink, which was pretty strong. When I came in at 10 p.m., there was like no lineup, so I can just like walk in immediately. But that will quickly change throughout the course of the night. Basically, during Pride, any place you want to go to will be packed to the brim. So if you choose to be a late Linda and arrive at like 12 or something, get ready to wait for at least an hour. And to be honest, with the knowledge that I have now, waiting an hour to get into Commander D, such a waste of time. Like this bar was definitely not for me. For me personally, I thought the music was really bad. Boys are hot, but like really shitty music. And the place was pretty small. Like it was sort of stylized to be sort of like this BDSM dungeon. Like it's an underground bar and there's like this metal chain link fence around and there's like that you know, X thing that people tie themselves on, but you don't actually get to use it. Obviously, it's just like decoration. But I will say the good things about this place is like the drink is strong, as I mentioned, and also the guys here were pretty good looking. But again, because it's Pride, a lot of people from all over the place were like coming in. So like, you know, like I met this really cute couple of locals. They weren't a couple, but like they're, you know, just two friends. And they said hi to me and they were like very cute. They were quite drunk, you know, they gave me a bit of their drink and like they were just really friendly. But I will say that I did have an encounter with an expat here that wasn't the greatest. But you know, that's not really the bar's fault. It's just, you know, Pride Week, all sorts of people come over. And also, surprisingly, this place also has a dark room area. I took a peek into it and it looked kind of like these two slim corridors. Honestly, it was like so packed when I was in there and I was not in the mood to get stuck in there, cramped up against strangers. So I did not venture very far in. But the option, I guess, for some privacy and some fun stuff is there if you are looking for that at a bar. So yeah, you definitely check this place out if you are interested in the BDSM decor and if you just want like a place that's like more for like talking, I guess, because the music was really bad but it wasn't that loud, so I think it was easier to like converse with people there. So yeah, check that place out if you are interested in that. The next place I went to was called Hunt. So when I went to Hunt, it was actually their Fundoshi night, which is the, you know, the Japanese G-string thong thing. Me and my friends, we had to wait like an hour outside before we got to the front, but once we were in, it was, you know, pretty good. Cover for this place was either 800 or 1,000 Taiwan dollars. My memory was really foggy of that night. Sorry. So because it was a Fundoshi night, we had to change out of our clothes. They provided lockers for us, so that's good. And we were only allowed to wear the Fundoshi underwear. So if you're going with friends, it might be a little bit awkward for you, especially if you're not used to seeing each other in that way. But me and my friends were like okay with it. And also because, you know, all you're wearing is a Fundoshi G-string thing, you're not gonna bring your phone in there. So that's also why I don't have any footage of this place. The place itself was pretty small. There's like the center area with this one central table and then like a few other tables around it. And that's where people would like kind of like mingled and danced around. And then there's this other place onto the side that's kind of like a dark room. It was like covered by this curtain, and so people, you know, went in to do some fun stuff in there. Also, unlike Commander D, this place had some pretty good music. But because I came directly from Commander D, I might be a little bit biased because Commander D, it was just like super shit music, like basically nothing. So at this point, they could literally play any kind of Lady Gaga song and I would have loved it. Like it was a mix of K-pop and gay-ish music, like, you know, the Britney Spears, and there's like some remixes in there. But it was, you know, energetic, poppy. I liked it. The drinks here was quite potent as well. They completely destroyed my heavyweight friend. And also really cheap, like 300, 100 New Taiwan dollars. Again, my memory is really foggy that night, okay? I'm sorry, I can't really, I'm doing my best here. But I do remember the crowd being quite hot. Everyone was very decently fit. It was also mostly a young crowd, like 20s to 30s. Y'all already know that I have a thing for big booby boys, and I did manage to find one in the darkroom area, like, so it was a fun time. But again, my memory of this place is a little foggy, and I was, you know, a little out of it at the time, so, you know, but I had a good time. It's just that the space wasn't super big, but the crowd was decent. So for the rest of these bars slash events, I didn't personally go to them, but I still wanted to talk about them so I can give you a brief rundown on like what to expect when you go in, because my friends went, so basically everything I'm going to tell you is based on their experience. So just keep that in mind. So a gay bar that I did not go to, but my friends went to, was Locker Room, and my friend went in at around 11:30. Apparently cover was free when he went in, so 11:30. But before that, there was a price because Tyler Wu was performing there. Apparently the ticket price for the Tyler Wu show was around 800 New Taiwan dollars. It was like a shower show thing, and apparently it was a lot of fun. People were even allowed to partake in the shower show, so like they were like grabbing people from like the crowd and like they were like dancing on top of them, and obviously since it's a shower show they got wet. So yeah, if you are interested in coming here, it might be worth it to bring an extra shirt just in case you get pulled into the crowd, and if you care about, you know, staying dry, if you want to like go to other places after this thing, or if you're like not interested in getting wet at all, just know that this gay bar has a shower area where you could get splashed. But thankfully that's like on the very top floor, the third floor. The second floor is where the bar is, and the first floor is where the entrance and the lockers are. And apparently the entire space of the area, so like each floor was kind of small, like it's around the size of a hotel room. So yeah, it can get kind of cramped. And apparently during the Tyler Wu show, it was indeed very packed. But according to my friend, after the Tyler Wu show at around 11:30, that's when the crowd started to die down. It was a little bit dead. At least on the third floor, there was like basically no one there. But in the bar area, so on the second floor, there was still a decent enough crowd. Like it was still a little bit hard to maneuver around to go get a drink. But that's also probably because like, you know, the space itself is, you know, pretty small. Like it's the size of a hotel room. But thankfully, according to my friend, the crowd was, you know, younger, fit, in between like the 20s to 40s range. And honestly, I feel like that is going to be the general crowd for all of these places. Like everyone in Taiwan was just basically just like fit and kind of young, or like, you know, pretty. This is very good looking people all around at the gay bars. And I know for sure during Locker Room, they had like different performers performing during their Pride Week. So, you know, next time be sure to do your research, because who knows, maybe your favorite adult entertainer will be performing at Locker Room. So the next thing we're going to talk about is called Candyland. Now Candyland was a 2-day event. It was held at this venue called Studio 9. And Studio 9 was like inside this mall area, and it cost $56 for a ticket. But you know, once you get in, they give you a free coupon, which redeems like a free drink. So the venue itself, because like it's in like this mall area, it was like very spacious. It's basically like 2 floors of this mall building. Like imagine like an empty event hall slash ballroom that's been like, you know, refurbished to look kind of more ravey. The reception was at the lower level, and apparently things were like very disorganized. Like there was no clear lineups for things. Like it was just like a big crowd, and like you couldn't tell if you were lining up to get in or like you're lining up for security or like whatever. It was just like apparently very messy. So, you know, maybe consider going in a bit earlier so you can avoid that mishap. Also, so while the venue was pretty big, apparently the dance floor was quite small. And apparently on this particular night, they were playing techno music, which my friends were not a fan of. And for Candyland, like each day has a different theme. So just like on the night that my friends went, they were playing techno. The second stage apparently was a bit more interesting because it was a silent disco. People were like wearing like these headsets, like these goggles that cover their ears, and they were just like listening to house music. Unfortunately, my friend also mentioned that because the second stage, the second area, silent disco, it was right next to like the outdoor patio where people were smoking. So because of that, the smoke kind of like filtered into the stage, which made the experience a little bit uncomfortable. And apparently also there was a massage area. My friends didn't try it, but apparently it was busy enough so that you had to write your name down on this list to, you know, be in queue for the massage. My friends did not see who the masseurs were and if they were hot, but you know, I'm assuming they were hot since people clearly wanted to get a massage there. And the overall space of the place was, you know, kind of raunchy. It had like that dim red lighting, kind of like Sauna Mania vibes, it sounds like. And also the crowd, apparently very young, very hot. Basically just hot guys, like the same kind of crowd that you would find at like a circuit party. They mentioned that there was more like international Asians, so not so much locals, but more just like, you know, Asian Americans, Asian Canadians, Asian just like across Asia. The crowd was still like, you know, a mixed bag in terms of like friendliness. Like some people were easy to talk to, some people were hard to talk to. It's like the typical crowd where like, you know, basically boils down to like how hot you are. Apparently like it was a little bit difficult to break into some groups because, you know, the groups that did go together, like they're kind of all like already know each other. And the people who were like already just know each other were just like vibing. They weren't really talking. But again, apparently it depends. Overall, my friends had fun. So yeah, you know, check out this place if you're looking for something that's in between like a bar slash circuit party slash rave kind of thing. So the next place that we're gonna talk about is Aurora. So cover for this place was $1,000 and it comes with 2 drink coupons. Apparently the venue was very confusing and difficult to find, and it was like underneath this shopping mall area. And how it's set up is that it's basically a hybrid bar with like this walkway for performers. And when my friends came, they actually came in time for like a specific event. I think Benbentw Taiwan was playing as a DJ there, and there was also a drag show. So the venue, it was apparently very nice. It had like lasers, which were apparently very mesmerizing, especially when the performers were like performing underneath them and doing their moves. And apparently the most notable thing about this place was the bathroom, according to my friends. Like it was super spacious, and it even had a couch in there. There were like people who were like using the bathroom as a place to socialize, which I cannot even imagine. And because the bathroom was like so large, it had like 2 walls full of stalls that you can walk into. So obviously people were using it for some private fun times. But if you're too squeamish to do stuff in the bathroom, there's also this other area that was apparently supposed to be like a dark room kind of area, but it was still like somewhat well lit. So like it was an attempt of a dark room, but not super dark. When my friends went, they came in at around 10 p.m. and apparently it was like super dead by then, but it got progressively a lot busier. And one thing that was notable about this place is that the bar took forever to give you your drinks. Like they were apparently very understaffed, or at least the bartender was just like not very fast at all. Like getting the drinks was a very terrible experience apparently. And also in terms of the music, apparently it was like a mix between EDM and circuit party stuff. So imagine like EDM songs or remixes of EDM songs with that circuit party flatness to it. Apparently after 3 a.m. they started playing more like meme songs, like songs on TikTok. So yeah, that's Aurora. Now the next place is also kind of interesting. It's called Pawnshop. So cover was on 700 or 800 New Taiwan dollars. And also locker rental is available, but at this particular night it was mandatory because at the particular night my friends went, it was underwear night. So everyone was wearing only their underwear and you had to rent a locker to put your stuff away. And apparently the wait to get inside there was awful, but I think that's true for pretty much all gay bars during Pride Week. All the bars are going to be so difficult to get into. If you don't get in early, you would be waiting an hour at least. And apparently Pawnshop was especially bad because you had to wait an hour to get to the entrance and then another hour just to rent a locker. Like, oh my god, 2 hours waiting in line. I just go home at that point. But apparently the inside was interesting because it was like, my friends described it as a mix between a circuit party, a boiler room, and also a rave. So apparently there were like 2 stages. In the main stage area, it was like more of a boiler room vibe. So like you were very intimate with the DJ. There were also some raised platforms in the main stage area and also randomly a couch. The second stage area has a smaller stage and it's still kind of intimate. But overall, the 2 stages are apparently kind of small, so it's quite packed and dense in there. One notable thing about this place was that there was like this dark maze area, but again, it was like really packed that night, so the traffic was super terrible. At some moments, my friends were like just literally waiting in there for people to move because they just couldn't move. And the lighting was like a little dim, like dim enough so that you couldn't really make out people's faces super well. And yeah, it was really busy on that particular day because even by 3 a.m., like it was still quite packed. And apparently this crowd was a little bit slightly more international. Like there were a few more like white guys and a few more brown guys that were in here. But again, it's like the same general crowd, the same kind of like muscly Asians, hot kind of people. But yeah, the most notable thing about this place was the boiler room-esque setup and also just how incredibly packed it was. So if you're not really a fan of being squished up like a sardine, maybe avoid this place. But if that's your kind of vibe, come on over. And the last event I'm going to talk about is the Formosa X Music Festival. So this event I did go to, and I went on the last day, the Formosa Pink Ball. The Formosa Music Festival was a 3-day event. And like I said, I only went to one of the days. But honestly, I'm almost 100% sure that the previous 2 days played out exactly the same as the last day that I went. So unless someone in the comments can tell me otherwise, I'm assuming I did not miss much. And also I made a dedicated video going over my experience at Formosa's Pink Ball right here. So I'll only go over the Cliff Notes version of my experience in this video. So, you know, check out that video if you want to learn more. And also I have a pure immersive video where there's like basically no commentary. It's just me experiencing the Formosa Pink Ball as it is. So check that out if you're more interested in what it's like to actually be there. But anyways, my verdict of this event. If you're someone who enjoys circuit parties, you're going to enjoy this event. And if you're someone who does not enjoy circuit parties, this is not going to change your mind. This is the circuitiest circuit party to ever circuit party. Just a bunch of shirtless, muscular guys just swaying around, probably entirely not sober, and just surrounded by bad, flat music. Or well, at least it's like not my taste in music. You know, if you enjoy that kind of music, then good for you. I wish I could, but I don't. People here were like generally friendly, but you know, it's kind of like this thing where like, since this environment is, you know, kind of cruisy in nature, it's kind of hard to meet new people. It's kind of hard to make new friends because, you know, when you try to talk to someone, they can just kind of automatically assume that you're, you know, you're trying to hit on them. And honestly, I'm kind of guilty of this too. When an older gentleman tries to talk to me, I just kind of assume they're trying to do something physical. And I think it's just a product of the environment. And honestly, it's just not the kind of vibe that I like in general. But if you're someone who enjoys this vibe, like if you like the hunt, then you're probably gonna like this event. Like you're like a place that has a lot of hot guys and almost none of them are sober, this is your thing. I would definitely check out this event. But yeah, if you've been to circuit parties before, you know what to expect. This one is no different. All right, let's talk about the gay saunas now. So I actually made a video going over the 3 most popular gay saunas in Taiwan, at least according to Google and some gay friends that live there, which I will link right here. So again, I'll only be giving you the Cliff Notes version of my experience here. But if you're interested in a more in-depth look of each place, I'd recommend checking out that video right there. But anyways, yeah, let's start with XL Club. So this place is a little bit further away from the Ximending area, like 5 kilometers away, and it is the smallest of the bunch. But in my opinion, it has like proportionally the most hot guys out of the 3. And just so you know what it is that I consider hot, I'll pop up some reference pics right here for you. Basically, if you got a really nice chest, you aren't super lean, and you have like a youthful face, I consider you to be super hot. And this place definitely had a lot of those kinds of people. But again, the space is like super small. Like there's literally only like this small steam room that people can play in. And the other areas to cruise are like these 2 small corridors, which are lined with rooms. Like there's not a lot of space. And also, this was the place where I encountered the rudest guest I had ever encountered before. And this person like physically recoiled when I, you know, touched them, which is fine, of course. Like, you know, it's fine if you don't like me. But I just worry that, you know, if you're someone who is a bit more sensitive, there is a chance that you might get hurt here. Like, I don't want you to feel bad, you know? And if you're someone who is affected by rejection, like I encountered someone in this place who was very not cool about that, you know what I mean? And I'm okay with it, but you know, I just worry I just don't want someone who is sensitive about rejection to go in there and experience that thing that happened to me. But if you're someone who isn't affected by that kind of thing, if you're okay with someone spitting in your face if they don't like you, you know, by all means, go in, have fun. Just kidding. No one actually spat in my face when they rejected me. They're just a little bit rude, that's all. But yeah, overall, this place, lots of hot guys, potentially very rude people. Not to say everyone was rude, of course, but I just had an experience where there was this one really rude guest in particular. But yeah, just come to this place if you were really interested in like just hot people and you don't care about rude people, or if you just want to be more voyeuristic or whatever, you know? Anyways, the next place I'm gonna talk about is Han's Sauna. This place is easily the nicest looking sauna out of the bunch, and it's also the most comfortable. It's also right in the heart of Ximending, so like it's literally like, it's super close. You can just walk to it from Midtown Richardson. Very easy, very convenient to find. And also, you know how I mentioned that it was a very comfortable space? Like they literally have a home theater in there filled with recliners with blankets. And they also got like a karaoke room. How cool is that? I love how sleek and modern the design of this place feels. It's like the best designed gay sauna space that I've been in, to be honest. The crowd here is definitely more tailored towards a older, more mature crowd and more of a bearish crowd. I'd say this is the perfect place if you are a daddy who are looking for people who are interested in the daddy type, or if you are someone who are interested in looking for a daddy, someone who is like a bit more bearish, a bit more elderly, someone who has like really massive arms and tits, someone who's like a bit more on the chunkier side, meaty, you know. I think you would find a lot of success here. Now, the next place I want to talk about is Soy 13. Now, this place is definitely the most expensive out of the 3 saunas. For reference, XL Club was around 200 New Taiwan dollars, plus had a 100 New Taiwan dollar deposit. Han Sauna was 400 New Taiwan dollars, but this place was 800 New Taiwan dollars. And actually, their prices like fluctuate randomly. Like when I went, it was 800, but when my friend went, it was 1,000 New Taiwan dollars. But for the price, you do get a really decent and diverse crowd. It was pretty crowded when I went in there, and everyone was very decently fit. But there was also like sprinklings of like every kind of body type in there, and every kind of age range. So I think in this place, you would probably have the highest chance of finding someone who likes you and you like back. There's also a lot of private areas too, lots of private rooms. And the size is definitely bigger than XL Club, and probably it might be bigger than Han Sauna, or at least they're very comparable in size. Han Sauna definitely looks nicer in my opinion, but also I think Soy 13 has the better crowd, at least for me. I would recommend coming here during Pride Week, maybe once just to check it out, because man, it was like packed to hell in this place, and there were like a lot of really hot people. But I'd also just like really disagree with the pricing here. If you're someone who does not enjoy going to gay saunas in general, don't expect something super premium or something super special here because of the price. It's like an above average sauna, a good sauna, and it has a decent crowd, but like it's just, you know, it's not something spectacular. But if you're just looking for action, you don't really care about the price, you just want super spicy times galore, this place would probably be worth it for you. So next, let's talk about the Pride Parade. So the Pride Parade starts at Taipei City Hall, and I went there at around 11 p.m. And actually, I think 11 p.m. is like the perfect time to come by because you actually have breathing room to like explore and walk around and stuff. By the time 2 p.m. came around, it was so crowded and packed to the point where like you're kind of being pushed to go with the crowd. Like you're basically like being pushed to flow in a certain direction because, you know, there's just no room. And it's like really hot too, which makes things even worse. And it becomes like really difficult to explore and actually like look at the booths because, you know, just people are just coming and going. So definitely come at around 11 p.m. if you're interested in looking at the booths and stuff. There's still going to be a crowd, but it's definitely manageable. You can definitely still maneuver around. Also, on another note, if you're coming at 11 p.m., make sure to bring some water or a cold drink or just some liquids. Because I went here with the expectation that there was going to be like a booth that sells like, I don't know, lemonade or tea or something, or just a booth that hands out free water. But nope, there is nothing. No drinks. I did find this one booth that was selling like this alcoholic drink that came with this really nice tumbler. But I was like, that thing would kill my dehydrated ass. I ain't drinking that. So funny story, I ended up having to walk all the way to Taipei 101 just to buy myself a few cold drinks, and then walked all the way back. And this is right around as the parade was about to start, so around 2 p.m. And once I made it back at around 2:30 p.m., finally, that's when I saw a booth that was giving out free water, but it was like warm water bottles. So yeah, if you're coming at 11 p.m., bring your own cold drinks. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait until 2 p.m. before they start like handing out free water and stuff, and it's gonna be warm, not refreshing. So yeah, this place is like lined with like tents and stalls and booths, and I went to visit each and every one of them. Bring a backpack or a tote bag because you're gonna be getting a lot of merch, and you already know, like, not only am I gay, but I'm also extremely Asian, which means you already know I will walk to every single stall and get every single free thing I can get. And I got a lot. Like I got like a tote bag's worth full of goodies, but honestly, most of it was kind of useless. Like there was a lot of pamphlets and random stuff. So just for some examples of some useful things that I got like some condoms. I got like this egg sex toy thingy. I don't know what this is. I've never used something like this before, but yeah, this egg thingy. I got like this packet. I got like this Pokeball thing that has like a rain poncho inside. And I got like this drawstring bag. And I also got like other bunch of random stuff and a lot of coupons for like the Taiwan businesses, but obviously I didn't keep those because I'm not going to be in Taiwan for very long. I also got like various trinkets. Like I got fans, I got like stickers and a key ring, some protein powder, also like a bookmark. Yeah, just like a lot of random cool stuff. Also, as a note, the level of English in this place was kind of varied, but everyone at least had like a very basic level of English. Basic enough so that they can like point you in a certain direction or like, you know, give you basic instructions on what to do at their booth, like scan here and that kind of stuff. Some booths had very fluent speakers, some booths very basic. So, you know, so like I said, the actual parade, the walking part starts at 2 p.m. And basically what I did was I followed behind the G-Star cart the entire way through, mainly because, my God, hot boy galore. And man, it was a long ass walk, like maybe an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. And my feet were like dying. Like I was already walking like nonstop from like 11 to 2 p.m. Like, you know, checking out the stalls, running to Taipei 101 to get water. My feet were like already tired. I have no idea how I managed to walk the entire track, but I did. And just for reference, I'm pretty sure the route that I took was this yellow one right here. And I'm like 80% sure because I definitely remember the roundabout. And yeah, it's like basically a circular rectangle that we walked. I think it was roughly around 2 kilometers of walking. And that's like without the exploring that you would do beforehand at the stalls. And you know, if you're kind of fit, that might not sound like a lot, but remember, they were walking at quite a slow pace. So you're gonna be standing for a while. And okay, I don't consider myself to be like the most fit person out there, but I'm definitely not like just a lazy couch bum either. But I was definitely like kind of pooped after the event. If I were to do it again, I would definitely recommend coming at 11, exploring until like 1 p.m, then just sitting and chilling until 2 p.m. when the parade starts. Because you're gonna need to rest your feet before walking. And also wear shoes, because ya boy here wore flip-flops and they were, I don't know what I was thinking. Also make sure to wear some sunscreen and do not bring an umbrella for sun protection because there's just not gonna be the room for it. Maybe bring one just in case for rain, but don't bring one with the expectation to use it for the sun because I think you're just kind of being a nuisance at that point because it's like, you know, big and bulky and like it's quite cramped, you know, just wear sunscreen. And in terms of like what to wear at the event, like girl, people were wearing everything. Like I saw people who were cosplaying, it was really cool, really cute. I saw people who were like wearing like full on like leather, like those leather puppy masks and jock straps. Some people were like, you know, basically nude, which, you know, power to ya. Basically Taiwan is a lot more liberal than what you might think of a Asian country. So as long as you're wearing something that's not like explicitly offensive, I think you can pretty much wear whatever you want. But honestly, I would just recommend wearing something that's breathable because it's gonna be hot as hell. And the overall vibe of the people at the parade was very, very nice. People were so supportive. I was actually walking next to this lady at some point and she seemed like, you know, an elderly mom or like an auntie kind of figure. And she was so cute. Like she kept saying like how proud she was of me, and honestly it felt kind of undeserved because I definitely did not have to go through some of the things that other gay people had to go through. Like there are definitely gay people who went through a lot worse things than I have and struggled through more things than I have. Like honestly, I feel like I had it kind of easy. But you know, it was still very cute of her to like, you know, say those things to me. And during the walk, people on the sidewalk were, you know, very supportive. They're like snapping pictures. Some of them joined into the parade, joined into the walk. I saw people at the mall just standing by the glass windows, just like, you know, waving and like taking pictures of us, taking videos. And some of the apartments I walked past actually had like, you know, people standing out in the balcony, you know, they were holding signs, they're like waving at us. It was all very, very cute and very morale boosting. Like it actually did make you feel that the entire city was supporting you because, you know, as you're walking, there would be like people who are on the sides, just like, you know, waving at you, supporting you. It had like a really cool energy. Of all the gay prides that I've been to, like I've only been to the Vancouver one and the Vietnam one, I think this one was definitely the best one that I've been to. Because unlike the Vancouver Pride Parade, this one was like participatory. Like you can actually join in and walk alongside the carts themselves, you know? And overall, like the people here in Taiwan were very, very cute, very, very friendly, very polite. The vibes are great. So anyways, yeah, that's everything I had to say about the parade. And I will be posting a more immersive style video soon where it's literally me just like walking around and exploring the Pride Parade. So you can have a real idea of what it was like to actually be there physically. So be sure to subscribe if that's what you're interested in so you know when that drops. And also, I just finished giving out my first few gay tours here in Ho Chi Minh City. My first 3 clients actually. If you're interested in getting a gay tour from me in Ho Chi Minh City, be sure to just send me a message on either Instagram or on my website and then we can go from there. I will be updating my website soon to have more clear-cut information on what the tours entail. So yeah, you know, that's in the works and I'll be updating that information soon. Anyways, thank you so much again for all your support. It really does mean the world to me. Like literally at this exact same time last year, I had like what, 7 subscribers. All of which were like, you know, like friends. And now look at us. I'm so blessed. Anyways, thank you all again for watching and supporting me. Just the fact that you're even here watching till the very end of this video, like it actually really helps a lot. Like you have no idea how much it helps me. So thank you so much for, you know, doing so and staying here to the end. As always, let me know if you have any questions or comments or concerns. If you want to know anything else about Vietnam or about Asia, feel free to reach out to me. Anyways, that's everything I had to say for now. So I guess I'll just see you guys next time. All right. See you. Thank you.